Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. Today, I'm calling it Ratchet Wednesday. I'm calling it Ratchet Wednesday because I'm about to do a review of 90 Day The Last Resort. It comes on Monday on TLC, and I just had to do the review because it was so good, okay? It was really good. So if you have not watched 90 Day The Last Resort, you need to tune in and you need to watch this video. If you are a fan of the 90 Day Fiancés, the 90 Day The Last Resorts are for couples that are on their last leg and they're about to break up and they're trying to save their relationship. And let me tell you something. The Last Resort had it going on a Monday. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to say that I'm going to give you the story of each couple, a brief story from the 90 Day Fiancé for each couple, so that you can see why they're at the last resort. Okay, so let's begin. So if you see me looking down, yes, I am reading my notes. So let's start with Ed and Liz. Ed is 57 and Liz is 30. They are engaged. And the reason they are at the last resort is because Ed is a womanizer. Ed likes to flirt with women. Ed is somebody that, if you watch the show, you know how he look. Okay, and he is not the best looking thing, okay? He's kind of funny looking. He is funny looking, to be, in my opinion. And he's overweight. He's very, very short. I want to say, like, I don't even know if he's probably 4 feet. And when he first came to the show, he had long hair. He didn't dress, he didn't really dress nice. But now he's upped his game. I think it looks like he had a makeover. His hair is looking nice. He's looking a little better. But he has no business talking about anybody's looks. And he pulled Liz. Liz is his fiance. And as I said, she's 30 years old. He's 57. And Liz is cute. Liz is a good looking woman. She got a nice little figure. And she's cute. But Liz don't work. And so I think that's how he bagged her, because she doesn't have a job. She doesn't have money saved. So basically he takes care of her. And when he starts to drinking, he really act a fool with Liz. He'll start flirting with her, flirting with different women in front of her face. He called her fat and said she needs to work out when she is not fat. And he's very, what I would say, he's somebody that is very bossy, and he controls her where she can't go with her friends. He has to approve her friends. He's just the typical man that's 57 years old and she's 30. So he has her under his thumb, and she's tired of it. But unfortunately, and I'm just giving my opinions as I'm speaking, when you are a woman that does not work, most men, they're going to be the boss. They're going to be the one that's in control. You're going to have to go, it's either their way or the highway. He has told her to get out, give me my ring back. And he does it easily because she doesn't have anywhere to go. And so when you are a woman that is being taken care of. Some of these things are the way he is really what happens with couples. And she's threatening to leave him. He bought a 4-bedroom home. I want to say he said 4-bedroom, 4 baths. I don't know. But a 4-bedroom home in Arkansas, so they're supposed to be moving towards his family. And she's happy about that because he treats her better. The family talks to him and he acts better around his family. So his family, I can tell you, have money. And I think he has money. So with that, money comes power. So as long as she is not working, he's going to treat her the way he treats her. Now, she did at one point try to get a job, and then he was mad about her hours, and so she quit her job. She really doesn't want to work. So with that relationship, she has to decide if you're going to be with a man and not have an income, he's the king. He's going to do just what Ed is doing. And if she has a problem with that, then she needs to support herself. And if he has a problem with her working, then maybe she needs to think about the relationship and the engagement. So I'm just in this review, I'm giving advice with couples because this channel, if this is your first time on my channel, I do every Friday a relationship topic. And so therefore, I love to dissect relationships. So, do I think they're going to be able to work things out? I think those two are codependent on each other because they always back and forth. They get together, they break up, they get together, they break up. So, on the 90 Day Fiance at the reunion, Ed called his ex-girlfriend Rose while he was in the relationship and engaged to his fiance. And he's still on dating sites. So they ended up breaking up. He asked for his ring back, embarrassed her to the 10th power on the show. And he said they didn't talk for 2 weeks. He had a shoulder operation and she came and took care of him and they got back together. So I don't know if Ed's going to change his ways. He's 57. He makes the money. So I think he knows that this girl has nothing. And so she's going to end up staying with him. But I'm hoping that maybe Ed will, when they go through this couple counseling at the last resort, that he makes some changes. And then she has to learn how to be a little bit more independent. And so I hope they both work on the things that they need to work on. So when they come together, they can be a good couple. The next couple was Kalina and Asuelo. Kalina is 34. Asuelo is 27. And he's from Samoa. I believe that's how you pronounce it. They have 2 children, 3 and 4. And they've been married for almost 4 years. She brought him in on a K-1 visa. And so when she first, I'm going to give you a little background when they were on 90 Day Fiance. When she brought him over to the when he was over in Samoa, he worked at the ice cream shop. And so he was like 22 or something like that, or 21. And he worked part-time at the ice cream shop. And so she brought him over to the United States. And once he got over, I think he got another part-time job. And he would go play volleyball and do all these things with his co-workers and leave his wife behind with the children. And so that became a problem, as well as he just wasn't making enough money. Now, in my opinion, she knew this man was a young man, not educated, working part-time at an ice cream shop. So he was a baby when she picked him up. And so what kind of job she thought he was going to get over to the United States, I don't know. But the problem happened because he was seeing other women. He cheated on her multiple times. And so now they are at the last resort. And I'm going to just come back to them and just introduce the rest of the couples. And so Kalina is just sick and tired of being sick and tired of a man that's been cheating on her and treating her wrong. Also, the family didn't like her. The family felt like because she was American, he's supposed to help his family and send money to his family when he can't even take care of the family that he has. And so Kalina got the mama and the sister straight and was like, honey, he can't help y'all. He got whatever money he makes gonna stay in this house. And so the family does not like her. And they just have been having a lot of drama. So that's why they are at the last resort. The next couple is Molly. She's 47. And Kelly, he's 37. And Kelly came from Brooklyn, New York. And he came to Molly, which I think Molly stays in Atlanta. And when they met, he was a NYPD police officer, and she said she was really attracted to his job and what he did, and so they continued to talk. And then he loved her, fell in love with her because she was very generous. Now Molly's paid, honey. Molly has the papers, and she's very generous with people, and she gives to the needy. And he said that's what attracted him to her. So he decided that he was going to move from New York and be with Molly and move to Atlanta. Now Molly said she told him not to come, but he came anyway. And so when he got there, of course he had no job. And she said it's like he's just changed. He sat on the couch all day watching reality shows. And she asked him to help her with some things with her business or just stuff around the house. And he told her, I'm not about to be your do-boy. And so she just started, let me just say this to the kings out there. If you have a woman and you living with a woman and they get up every morning going to work and she own her own business, okay? She got it going on, and she getting up early in the morning. She come home late, tired, and you're behind and sitting on the couch, and you not doing anything. That's a problem. Now she didn't say whether he was paying bills or not, but if he don't have a job, and I don't think at 43 years old that he retired and have a lot of money coming in. So I'm just going to say I think that Molly's taking care of him to a certain degree. And so, you know, every time the rent come through, the bills need to be paid. If you sitting on the couch and you watching TV and you're not helping with nothing, then you become ugly to a woman. You become useless. And they start looking at you in different eyes. And these are the eyes now that Molly is looking at Kelly. Kelly needs to get on up out the couch. And Kelly needs to go get him a job. That's what Kelly needs to do. And help with the bills. He needs to do little things around the house until he get that job. But if he don't get no job, I don't see them staying together. Molly is really fed up to like here with him sitting on the couch. And then he's saying, well, it's not the same woman. She talking about I changed. She changed too, because she used to be so sweet and now she's mean. She talked to me any old kind of way. But that's what happens when you're not working and this woman is getting up every day. Those are the things that happen. They start looking at you differently. So they went to counseling. they all had a big council, well, sat around this bonfire, and the counselors were talking to them, and they were going all around. And the counselor said, listen, Molly, you just don't, she doesn't understand the way she's talking to him. It's shutting him down. And I would say this, a lot of women, you just, regardless of what, you don't never demasculate your man. I mean, she just was snapping at him. And I don't know. I don't want to sit next to him. No, I don't want to sit next to him. She was snapping off on him. And you don't do that in front of others. And you don't make a man feel less than a man. Regardless if he need to get up. The way she's talking to him, a lot of women would do. But that's not the way to do it. They need to me, they need to come together. She needs to, talk in a nice tone to him. Because when you just, a man is hearing, whoa, 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 and you cannot, he's not going to change for you. He's not going to do what you want him to do. Because he's feeling demasculated. And so she needs to come at him in a better way. So that's why they're at the last resort. Couple number 4 is Javi, 32. He's from New Orleans. And Yarvi, I don't know if it's Yarva. I think it's Yarva. She's 28 and she's from the Ukraine. I think Yarva is so pretty. And she's stylish as well. Javi, on the other hand, I think this couple, I don't know what's going to happen with them, because when they were on a 90-day fiance, before they got married, Javi had sex with a stripper, okay? On national TV, everybody knew he went into a room upstairs at his bachelor party, and she found out on the reunion at that season when it happened. And so how she stayed with him, she needed her green card. She needed her green card. When you look at her, you're like, why is she with Javi? Javi's not really attractive. He's a cheater. And he's like a college person. He acts really young. He acts like he's in college. He likes, to drink a lot. He likes to flirt with the women. And he likes to sleep with different women. And so Yarvi's at the point where she's sick and tired of him. And she's tired of him because when he's gone to work, he's gone for like 30 days at a time, weeks at a time. And she's lonely because she's stuck at home with the baby. She's in a different country. Javi's mother helps, but she's like, I'm not nobody babysitting. I don't blame her. I'm not nobody babysitting, okay? You guys don't pay me nothing. I am not the nanny. So she rather be in Europe with her family, with her mother. So she went to visit her mother, and Jovi went as well. And her mother was like, listen, you need to get us an apartment over here, and you need to be over here. And you need to talk with Jovi about that, And so Jovi, Jovi was told that, hey, she said, I want to get a condo or apartment or something over in Europe so that my mom can know her grandchild. You're gone a lot anyway, so when you're gone, I would like to be over in Europe. I have my own money. She said she has a clothing shop or something like that online that's doing very well, and that woman is wearing the labels, baby, so she's doing very well. And he was like, we need to get established in the United States before we talk about getting another place, a second home in Europe. And she's like, well, I can use my money. I'm not asking you for any money. I have my own money. And he's like thinking that she wants to eventually move there for good and not come back. and his mother's worried about it as well. And so she just feel like he need to trust her, that there's no trust. And so of course, when couples like that, when they're having problems and they only been married 3 years, instead of addressing it and fixing it, the first thing a man says is, I want to have a baby. I want to have another baby. And that's what Jovi's saying. I want to have another baby. Well, first of all, and I tell this for the women and for the men, a baby don't hold no man. The baby's not going to hold a woman. But what I like about Yarvi is that she's like, we have to fix the problem before we talk about having some children. I am not about to have another baby. Now, once we talk to this psychiatrist or whoever we talking to, and you understand that I want to be around my family, and you trust me enough to go over there and come back, then perhaps. But Yarvi, honey, she got her breasts done. She look good. If I was Jovi, I'd be scared she wouldn't come back either. But at the end of the day, I will say it's not fair that she's left at home and she doesn't, really work. She says she has an online store, so I guess there is work. But she's left alone, a young woman left alone for weeks at a time. She could be with her family. So I kind of agree with Yarvi, but if it's making him uncomfortable, they need to come to some type of agreement. But she did say that she has a secret. And we don't know what the secret is that she needs to reveal to him. I think the secret is going to be she's already bought a place. But we'll have to see next time. And so the last couple is Angela. She's 56. And she stays in Georgia, Hazelhurst, Georgia. And Michael is 34 and he stays in Lagos, Nigeria. He's a Nigerian. They have been married for almost 3 years. His visa was denied, so he's still in Nigeria. And so the only time they see each other is when she can put up coins together and go over there. Now the background on them to me is crazy. She does not allow him to work while he's in Nigeria. And she sends money to take care of him. But she then said she couldn't afford to send all the money she was sending. So she barely sent money but didn't want him to work. And so he decided to get an Instagram account and get on social media and make money that way. And she got jealous about that. He was not allowed to be on social media. He could not work. He could not go out with his friends. He couldn't talk to nobody but her on the phone. It was just like crazy. You like way miles away and this man can't do nothing. And that's what I'm starting to see on this show. A lot of older women get these young men so they can be the boss. She talks to them crazy. She even threw a cake in his face. But on the last reunion, she found out that he was talking to other women. Talking romantically to other women. Supposedly, she said, well, he told her it was never sexual. They never had sex. But he was out of pocket for talking to other women. I just think their relationship is crazy. Angela's too overbearing. She's too bossy. And that's not how the real world works with a young man that's miles and miles and miles away. So Angela breaks up with him and she gets over there and he lays it on her in the bed and they get back together. But this time when she came to the last resort, she bought some divorce papers and she said if things do not get better, and they all have 2 weeks, if things do not get better in 2 weeks, then she's gonna let him see these, she has the divorce papers, and she's going to get a divorce. I just don't think that's going to work. You can't have a long distance marriage, and you're an older woman, and she lost weight. Angela had gotten a gastric surgery and lost, tons of weight, but her skin is still flabby and hangs. So she needs that surgery to pull her skin in. So right now, she's looking like she's about 80 years old. Kudos for her weight loss, but she looked like she's about 80 years old. And she put on this bathing suit in front of him, and her skin was sagging. She looked a hot mess. But Angela be thinking she calls I don't know what, I like her. A lot of people don't like her, but I like her because she just tell it like it is. But she is overbearing. I don't think this marriage is going to work. But I guess we're going to have to see about it. So, I just told you about the 5 couples. Now, they're at the last resort. And it's a beautiful resort. They all come to this beautiful resort. It's white sands, blue water. Absolutely to die for. Gorgeous. They have these nice rooms and everything. And so I'm going to go back to Kalina and Asula. They stole the show because they had been estranged, Kalina and Asula, because he had an affair. And he just continuously has an affair. So they get to the resort and they in their room and he happy. And she gets on the phone and she was like, hello, can I have some pillows, blankets? Thank you. And he was like, who is that for? She said, well, the kids gonna sleep with me. You're gonna sleep out there in the living room. He was like, so are you saying that you don't want me to sleep in the same bed with you? Is that what you're saying? And she said, that's what I'm saying. Too much has gone on. I don't feel comfortable. We have not had any counseling. So, yes, you're going to sleep in the other room. I was just making sure you had a blanket and you had a pillow. So he said, you did not talk to me about this. She said, it is what it is. You can't sleep with me. Leslie had go after we do counseling and all of the things. So he was like really surprised she did that. And it just goes to show people's age. He's 27. How are you surprised if you cheated on your wife? But her sister comes down to take care of the kids while they do their counseling. And he goes, should I hide? And she was like, no, you can speak to her. So she comes in like she was the big bad wolf. And he was looking straight ahead. She was like, how are you? I'm okay. She said, I know that we had a bad start. I know that we started off bad and then we got to a good place and now we're in the bad place because how you treated my sister. Yes. He never looked at her. Yes, I know. Okay, so I'm just letting I just don't feel comfortable with you because of what you did to my sister. And I'm glad that she's here and she's standing up for herself. And so he was like, okay. He just sounded real tripped out, like he was scared of her. Like she was going to be his behind. And maybe she could. I don't know. Okay, so all of them go to the bar, and the first couple that showed up, I think, was Jovi and Yarva. And Yarva was like, I don't know who all gonna be here, but I hope to God I don't see Angela. And Joey didn't want to see Ed because they got into it at the reunion. So the second person that walks up was Molly, and she came by herself. So her and Kelly didn't come together. And The next person to walk up was Angela. Was Kalina and Asula. And then the next person to walk up was Angela. And Jarvie was like, looking like, oh my God, I just can't believe she's here. And this is the last person I wanted to see. And so Angela was like, I see her over there, but you know what? We had our words at the reunion, but I'm going to let it go. But she better watch herself. She better watch herself talking to me. And Asula was so glad to see Angela because Asula was like, Angela know how to get down with the gets down and put people in check. And if she has to do it, she going to do it too. So she was glad that she had somebody to back her up with Asula. And they hugged and everybody was pretty much glad to see each other. Ed walked over to Jovi and was like, listen, I'm going to be good. But he was like, them two, they not going to make it. In so many words, that's what he said. So Angela asked Kalina to the side, why are you here? And she was like, he cheated. He cheated. And so Angela was like the mom of the group. She was going around trying to give little advice, but she told Kalina, well, Michael did too. They're around the same age. He didn't physically cheat, but he did do a form of cheating. And so I can't tell you to leave him because I'm still with Michael. In fact, she said, I really can't give nobody no advice because I can't work out my own thing. So later on that night, they all had to meet, as I said earlier, at this bonfire with the counselors or psychiatrists. And as I said before, Molly did not want to sit next to Kelly. And Kelly just felt like really disrespected. She earlier at the bar kind of made him feel bad about not doing anything around the house in front of people. And Molly was like, why would I sit next to him and we're not in a good space? And then Kelly was like, and why are we here? And Molly was really talking down to Kelly. Regardless of the situation, she needs to get that together, which I had talked about. And that's what the counselor expressed to them. As far as the next couple talking, it laid on Kalina and Asuela. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes. This gave me life, this thing. So they asked them, Kalina and Asula, why are you here? And so they asked Asula first, and he was like, well, I'm here because I did some things that's not right. I cheated on my wife. I've just not been a good person to her. And she is so nice, she is so pretty, and she's so giving. And I just want my family. So he said, okay, what did you do? So he said, I was out. I think he went to back to his country, Somalia. And I was out, and a girl asked if she can give me a blowjob, and I said yes. And so when she did it, she gave me a yeast infection, and I gave it to my wife. I also kissed her. Honey, Kalina was crying her behind off. She was like, that's why we're here. He cheated on me over and over and over and over again. And this last time, he told me I could have a hall pass. I could kiss somebody. But he only told me that because he didn't think I would do it. Who tells their wife that? And he was like, just did it because I didn't think she would do it. I didn't really believe she would do it. And so, Kalina was crying. All of a sudden, honey, them tears, she did like this and dragged them tears. And when she dragged them tears, she said, the lady at the counselor, a psychiatrist said, did you use the hall pass? And she looked at him and she had like a little smirk. And she said, yes, I did. I used the hall pass. He gave it to me. And he was like, I am so hurt. I didn't think you would do it. And honey, she had this little smile. And she said, well, you told me I can. Why wouldn't I? You cheated over and over and over. So he was like, oh my God. I didn't think he would do it. And she had a little smirk. And she was like, She was looking like, I'm hurt too. You hurt me too. So then she was like, the psychiatrist was like, I see still a lot of things that's not being said. That you have to tell the truth and come with the truth in order for us to help you as a couple. And so he was like, I don't know why I do the things that I do. I don't know why I cheat. And that's another reason why I'm here. And so she said, he always cry. You know, always crying, act like he's so innocent when he has cheated on me over and over again. So I'm going to come up, be real honest. And I waited until I got in front of the psychiatrist to say this. She said, it started off as a kiss. Yes, we kissed. And she had that little smirk. Yes, we kissed. But then, the kiss was good. So then we had oral sex. The oral sex was good. And then it went on to having sex. And he was like, no. And she had that little look on her face like, yeah, I've been hurt too. And so everybody was holding their seats. The other couples was holding hands, holding their seats. They was like, oh my God. Angela was like, I don't know if I should cheer Kalina on. I said, girl, are you crazy? But what I will say is this. A lot of women like to seek revenge. I personally don't think that two wrongs make a right. You having sex with another man is not going to change how you're hurt. It's not. And usually it makes things worse. If you can't get counseling and work it out, then maybe you need to make some decisions about the relationship. But I just think that he's going to be, most men will be, now they don't trust you. So you have to be careful with trying to do the big payback. So I don't know how that's going to work. I think that personally she needs to let him go. Because if he has done it over and over and over again, he's a serial cheater. And he's not going, I don't think he's going to change. And he shouldn't have even expected her to sleep in the bed with her. You know, since he had cheated on her and gave her a yeast infection. So I just think that Asula is very immature. So it ended with Kalina. Is her name Kalina? Kalina. It ended with her saying, I don't know. I think we can overcome this. I don't know. And they asked her, how do you feel about the other man? She was like, I just don't know. Right now, it could go either way. But she wants to really save the marriage, but she doesn't know. And so that is the conclusion of The Last Resort. It was so good. So good. And I think about that. Would you give your man or woman a pass? In this case, it was a wife. Would you give your wife or husband a pass to cheat? That's a good question. And so that might be the next topic on our relationship conversation on Friday. So those that have never joined me, as I said before, on Fridays I do relationship topics, and that might be one. Should you give your spouse a pass? Should he really be mad at her and hurt when he told her to go out and be with a man? And at the end of the day, what kind of man really would tell their woman to go cheat? And what kind of woman would tell their man to go cheat? Different couples do different things, but that's something that I think I'm going to talk about. But one more thing before I end this video. I just remembered. After, I think Asula and Elena, after they met with the psychiatrist, they went to the room, and he said, I have some questions for you. And she said, okay. Is he better than me? Did you like his sex better than me? And she was like really insulted, because she's like, you should be asking a question like, what do I need to do to get things together? What do you need from me? But instead, he's asking these immature questions. But you know what? Don't ask if you don't really want to know, because the question, she did answer. And she said, well, you know what? She did it in a nice way, but it's really not no nice way you can answer it if you're saying that this man's sex is not good for you, to you. She said, well, you know, you really about yourself and just like to please yourself, and you don't really take care of me and my needs. And he does. And he do. That's what we'll call him. He do. And he do. She said, he said, but you get your happy ending. She said, you know what? I really don't. I fake it. But he do. He do give me my happy ending. He do take care of my needs sexually. He do. And he was just looking like, oh, it was crazy. I think she should say to him, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Some people don't need to be married. Some people need to be single. And he's very young. He's 27. And so he seemed like he just need to be a single man, so he could have all the yeast affections he wants. He could do whatever he want to do. Because when you have children are involved too, you can't afford to be immature like that. So I wish all the couples luck. I can't wait till next Monday to watch 90 Day The Last Resort. And thank you for watching my channel.